Actually, Albert Cameron from Cdmma at ringside will be speaking with none other than the Spaniard, Charlie Robin. Are you guys ready for a great night of MMA action? Altona, I can't hear you. Are you ready for a great night of MMA action? Before we begin, these bouts are sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Commissioner Greg Sir presiding. Your judges for this evening: Brett Wolfletch, Todd Kruska, and John Laxman. Your referee this evening, the Honorable Bill Brookwalter. Your timekeeper, the one and only Stephen the Hammer Cruz. And your physician at ringside, Dr. David Bozak. Ladies and gentlemen, this time, if you would please stand if you are able. Remove your hats and remain standing for our national anthem. Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Play ball! Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for our first bout.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Complete Devastation MMA 11. Beside me is the madman, Charlie Gathers, Bantamweight King. Charlie, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's our 11th installment, my 10th Cdmma. Drew, of course, doing a wonderful job going ringside. Chuck, this is going to be a really interesting card to say the very least. We got heavyweights coming up in our first match, and we rarely have heavier fighters here in Altoona, but really in Pennsylvania, it seems like lightweight, bantamweight, and featherweight are the way to go.
Yeah, we don't have too many big guys all across the board. I always see shows looking for heavyweights and big guys, so it's going to be interesting. It's always fun seeing the big guys going in here. I remember, I don't remember what Complete Devastation it was, but I remember the two big guys going in there and breaking the cage and the lighting at one point, and they had to stop the show.
It was Clark Young and Adam Smith Urbany.
Yeah, my buddy Clark Young.
I almost died that fight because Clark was throwing Smith Urbany around.
Yeah.
I almost fell off the cage.
Yeah.
All right, we are right by the entrance. Nathan Boyer, standing 6 foot tall. He's gonna be taking on Dylan Smith in this 218 catchweight bout.
Yeah, they said he has one win back in November.
Back in November
against Chuck Jones. He comes out. Where are they from? Erie?
I believe so. No, Chuck. Dylan Smith is a debuting amateur, and you know probably better than anyone what it's like to have your debuting nerves.
Oh yeah.
Historically, Pennsylvania has great debuting amateurs. These guys are ready to fight. What's Dylan Smith going through right now as he's preparing for his first fight?
Oh man, right now he doesn't really know what he's thinking. Like right now, they ask you to pick a fight song to walk out to. He's not even hearing the music. His mind's racing 24/7 right now, 365, 100 miles an hour. He's going to step in the stage and ultimately try to do what he does, but like they say, once you get punched in the mouth, everybody loses their train of thought. So
it was Mike Tyson who said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the head.
You're right. So we'll see how he does, and usually the nerves can help you out here. So.
Well, Nathan Boyer is looking big and mean. We got his corner right by us. We're gonna get some great insight on that front. Now, regardless, Chuck, both men tonight need a win.
Yes.
They need a win. We want to get winning momentum swinging their way. At Complete Devastation, I mean, you know yourself,
right.
A win here in Altoona does lead to big things.
It really does. I'm not good with names, but there was a lot of bigger name guys that came out, and they got a big win here, and they went on to bigger and better shows. And I like following the fighters as much as the next guy. I'm not good with all the names and stuff like that.
Right. But the long and short of it is, the fights in Altoona have big implications, and they do matter.
They do.
Now, what I'm understanding from the backstage locker report, Boyer is a striker, Smith is a ground technician. So we got the classic match, the question that brings all of us to MMA, who wins between a striker and a grappler. The opening bout of Cdmma 11, we're about to find out.
Yes, we are. Well, we say here that if the striker can stay striking, and he'll have his game. If the grappler takes it to the ground, it's in his world then. And I'm predominantly a grappling guy, and from experience, you're going in there with 0-0, and the other guy's 0-1. They need to stick to their game plan. Well, if he can't get taken down, then that grappler's going to be a fish out of water. So we'll see.
With the heavier guys, they don't move as fast as the lighter weights, but they do have a tendency to pack a lot of power. So with Boyer being the striker, I'm gonna safely bet he's got some vicious knockout power. With Smith being the ground guy, I'm gonna guess he's got some powerful submissions in his repertoire.
You would think so. Main thing that Smith has to do is not block punches with his face tonight.
Right.
So if he stays out of the way with those vicious blows that the big guys throw 24/7, then just don't block him with your face. Take the man down and work your game plan.
Well, it also comes down to position, submission. If you don't have position, you do not have submission. But all this is all guesswork at this point. We do not know till that bell rings, and it's a great way to get Complete Devastation MMA 11 started.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first bout is scheduled for 3 rounds. It is an amateur bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing at 6 foot even, weighing in 218 pounds from Smash MMA. For the record, all one and all, this is Nathan Boyer!
You know what to do.
His opponent fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 5'11", weighing 215 pounds, from 7 Day Stars, making his debut, Dylan Smith!
The self-proclaimed best backside in MMA refereeing, Bill Bookwalter, is going to be presiding over the fight tonight. Drew, welcome back.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me here.
Okay, opening bout.
Let's do this.
Boyer does have a very good striking stance.
Guys, when I'm perfectly honest here, I don't know what's scarier, stepping into the cage to fight or stepping into the cage to sing the
Oh!
Nice uppercut.
Very nice.
Come on, baby. Let them hands go.
I believe that Smith definitely wants to improve his head. Whoa! Definitely wants to improve head movement.
There's a big knee. There's a big knee.
Let them hands go.
And of course, you can hear Boyer's corner right next to us,
Absolutely.
giving his man support. This fight is a catch weight, if I
A 218-pound catch weight. Now, Smith is Boyer's pressing Smith up against the cage. This is right where Smith wants to be doing. He wants to be able to posture out, throw strikes. He wants to be able to create distance and throw hands. Smith definitely wants to take the fight to the ground. Now, Chuck, you being an amateur, if the knee were to actually hit the head at this point, would that be illegal?
Yeah, I was just thinking that would have been an illegal blow for the amateurs. Like I said, these guys are both
Come on, baby. You
These
got
guys
it.
are both wanting to win here, so
Exactly. Well, tensions get high, tempers flare.
yes, sir.
And of course, this bout going 3 2-minute rounds. Our next bout will be in the advanced amateur rules. Those will go 3 3-minute rounds. So we've got 3 2-minute rounds here right now.
Let's do this.
It's actually kind of
There you go.
awkward. We got the striker trying to take down the grappler when we were thinking quite the opposite when we first got
Well, yeah, I mean, I have to imagine, like,
Come on, Nate.
is that poor game plan? Possibly. Maybe we don't know as much about Boyer's ground game as what we think. No, that elbow was pretty close to being illegal.
It was.
Drew, we were talking while you were in the cage. Last time we saw boys this heavy in complete devastation was Clark Young and Adam Smith Urbany at CDMMA 2, I believe, 2 or 3.
That was the bout where you were almost killed, right?
I was almost killed.
10 seconds to go in this bout. Or in this first round.
That guillotine choke looks deep. I can't see if the arm is in or not.
Come on, you only got a little bit, baby.
Oh, he does have an arm in.
All right, that is the end of round 1.
All right, again, amateur rules in Pennsylvania say, starting on amateurs, they will fight 3 rounds, 2 minutes each.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, as an amateur, those 2 minutes are real long in the cage.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to the man that when he was fighting for the featherweight amateur title, fought with bronchitis and did jumping jacks in the middle of the cage, and Altoona legend in his own right.
That was most of all those jumping jacks were just to let myself know that I can keep going. You know, it's all mental when you get in the cage, and with bronchitis and pneumonia in one lung, you know, I handled the fight pretty well.
Yeah, you did.
And you know, I just always got to keep pushing forward. So the jumping jacks wasn't much to show off. It's just to keep myself motivated and keep trying to push through that 3rd round.
So, I'm doing a little bit of visual reconnaissance here. Dylan Smith is fighting out of Self-Made Stars, which has Osahan Omo Asagi as their striking coach. And of course, yeah, Osahan Omo Asagi, of course, having probably one of the
Come on, Buster.
Oh, no, see, that's Omo Asagi's work. That head movement from Dylan Smith looks good.
Big guy with a leg kick.
Yeah.
There you go.
And like we said, Drew,
Hey, keep him on the
big
cage.
boys have a tendency to throw big hands. They're not as fast, but they throw big hands, and they also have strong submissions.
Exactly. There's a lot of power behind that. It might not be fast, but there's a lot of power behind those fists.
But Dylan Smith working with Osahan Omo Asagi. Asagi last at CDMMA 10 had probably one of the best boxing knockouts that we've seen in the cage.
That was intense. That was incredible. Osagi actually announced his retirement, but it sounds like he's coming back.
He is actually coming out of retirement. He'll be fighting for the NAAFS in Ohio.
Yeah, he told me earlier today that he tried to sit on the couch and he just can't do it. It hasn't left him yet, and so.
Well, Osagi also going to be in the corner of Ethan the Wolverine Goss, making his debut tonight as a professional. Chuck, I remember when you turned pro.
Yeah.
That was a big moment. I'm sure Goss is looking forward to it. But in the cage right now, we have a foot stomp technique.
Yes, I know. I seen that.
It's not illegal, but it's kind of dirty. I mean, you kind of lose footing. It's a jolting kind of thing to go through.
You don't want it. You don't want it, Nate. Nate, you don't want it.
Boyer's Corner encouraging him to get in there and start throwing hands. Keep up the intensity.
I think Nate looks tired.
Uppercut, baby. Come on.
I'm not sure if he looks tired. I mean, I think at this point with being big boys, right now, energy conservation is extremely important. Brian Green from Central PA Mixed Martial Arts said, with guys built like you get in there, one of the most important things you need to focus on is energy conservation. I think that is the game plan right now. There is some heavy leather and a lot of weight flying around that cage right now.
10 seconds left in round number 2.
Come on, baby.
Smith trying to last it.
Oh!
With a nice kick.
Come on, Nate.
Oh! I'm telling you what, had that punch landed,
Bill Bookwater almost ate leather for the trouble.
Yes, he would.
I'm telling you, had that punch almost landed, would have been a completely different end of that round.
Yeah, it would have. Of course, Ed Krunkel presiding over tonight's Complete Devastation MMA. Executive Director Gregory Serb, of course, has to say for all of it. Of course, we want to say hi to Brent Coldflesh, Todd the Hammer Cruth, Ted,
and of course, our good friend Pat Johnston.
Pat Johnson, Todd Kruska, and Judge Lasevic. All right, Chuck. debuting amateurs, we're in the third and final round. What is the game plan? I have to think that Boyer has the advantage at this point.
Well, I need to disagree with you right now.
Okay.
I'm looking at Boyer and I'm looking at Smith. Smith's ready to go. Boyer has his mouth open. Mouthpiece sticking out.
I have to think.
I'm saying that what they both need to do is they need to keep their composure, press, and just not make any mistakes. I'm thinking if Boyer lasts this round and doesn't get tapped out, then I think he might have this one wrapped.
Right now, Boyer's corner calling for body, head.
Oh!
Nice kick to the midsection. Oh! I don't know that. I'm thinking that was more the midsection than what he was.
What you come here for, baby?
I have to think Boyer got the first round. Smith was really impressive in the second. I think it's going to come down to this third and final round when we're talking about a winner.
Hey, give me that hook. Give me that hook.
He's lining up way too much with those punches.
Boyer's really feigning with the punches. You almost think you want to feint with a knee chuck and then throw the overhand right. Oh!
Baby, get on. Get on. Swing stack. Hey.
Drew, those lights are bright and hot, especially in the closing round of the opening bout for Complete Devastation MMA 11.
And I'll tell you what, that's going to take its toll on the fighters as well because they're going to be sweating a lot too. It is hot in that cage.
Well, now Chuck, you being the grappler, you have to think the sweatier Boyer becomes, the better it becomes for him to get out of Smith's ground game. Now might be the time to take him down if he's going to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the worst thing you want to do is get into some kind of submission game in the very beginning of the rounds. But once towards the end of the fight, that grapple game becomes obsolete. Pretty much just rolling around on the ground with two sweaty guys at that point.
Smith's nose is red.
I just noticed that Dylan Smith is bleeding from the nose.
Well, that's effective striking for Boyer. He's able to pick his shots. He's able to put him in there.
10 seconds. I got a feeling this is going to the judges.
Oh!
That was a nice one.
That's the way to end a fight in a round.
There you go.
And that's it.
That was a good fight, and that was a great way to open it up. We're going to send it to Drew the cage for the official decision. Chuck, I'm not sure what you're thinking. I think Boyer had the more effective striking.
Right.
I think Smith might have wanted to try to move his head a little bit more, especially with Osan almost in your corner, but he was not able to execute the way he wanted to.
No, he didn't. Like I said in the beginning, if he wouldn't have blocked punches with his face, it'd have been a different ball game. I think he took a lot of shots. I don't think he stuck to his game plan as much as they wanted to. So.
And again, it goes back to Tyson's old adage: everyone's got a game plan until they get hit in the face.
Yeah, Boyer was working that jab right off the bat. He's working that jab and coming in with that big swooping left hook. So I got to say, I'm going to give it to Boyer on that one. Still looked like a little bit of animosity coming out of Boyer at the very end of that round.
Well, I'm sure both these guys wanted that fight to end with a finish.
Right, they did. When that bell goes, you got to let that stuff loose.
Maybe not as much animosity as we thought.
Nope.
But again, for heavier guys, we rarely see them. I think that was a good heavyweight bout.
Yeah, definitely. They didn't peter out at the very end.
Right.
That's what gets boring with the big guys. Everyone expects them to.
Well, they gas out and they want to lay it.
They just want to lay on the cage and stuff like that. But that didn't happen. That was full go. 3 straight rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all down to the judges. We make their decision. Judge 1 scores this out 29-28. Judge 2 scores this out 30-27. And Judge 3 scores this out 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision in the red corner,
Looked like Bill Buckwalter was going to hold up both hands.
Yeah.
Let's stop real quick here. What was the key to win to your fight tonight?
Okay, tired.
It's like a little light. I just sweat quite a bit. It was an excellent bout. Anything like to say to make that? All right. Congratulations, come back. One more time, give it up for Nathan Boyer.
Charlie, I think we caught it. conditioning and cardio was a factor. You want to watch out for that. Warrior was able to use more effective striking, and it looked like when the fight was about to hit the ground, he also had an answer for Smith's ground implementation.
Yes, he did. He got it. Well, actually, he was going for the takedowns.
Okay.
And he was going for the takedowns, and Smith kind of reversed it once it got on the ground. So it wasn't, Warrior was trying to take Smith down and change it up some, but Smith got on top of him and Warrior got right back up. So the ground game was obsolete for Smith, and that's all he had to work on. So I'm thinking that's pretty much why I lost that fight.
Well, it's good to see heavier guys back in the complete devastation cage. That is for absolutely certain. Coming up, we got Jake Kozarowski versus Robert Baccarino.
I know Jake really well. We train together and we roll together, do some BJJ. So I'm interested in seeing. He just fought. What was it? 2 weeks ago, also.
Yeah.
So he's on. He's been looking. He's been looking good. We got questions if he's supposed, is going to want to go pro after this and all that, but it's basically what he looks like tonight, I think, and he should go from there.
Here's the interesting thing about Jake Kozarowski. When he gets into a cage, he flips a switch. He's a dangerous human being.
Yeah.
When he's outside the cage in his street clothes, one of the nicest guys to talk to.
Yeah, if you can even get him to talk. I mean, I have a short and sweet conversations with Jake. He's just he's not.
Make some noise for our lovely ring girl this evening, the lovely Miss Jess. If you the louder you yell, the better chances for t-shirts.
Throwing out some t-shirts. Like I was saying, Jake's a quiet and real nice guy, so. But yeah, you're right. When he gets in that cage, he just training kicks in, muscle memory.
Well, also
turn that tiger on, man.
I've had the pleasure of calling 3 out of the 4 of Jake's fights. Every time he fights, I have the same comment that he hits naturally hard. You can hear the sound of his gloves hitting skin is much louder than most anyone else's.
I think it has to do with maybe his body type, that, and he knows what he's doing with twisting his hips and how to punch and stuff. But he's just a big kid, and he has that power, he has that Pennsylvania strength.
Advanced Amateur Division, and it is brought to you by Allegheny Street Cigar Company, 304 Allegheny Street in Hollingsburg. And really quick, happy birthday to Devin. Happy birthday, Devin!
I gotta tell you, Chuck, I'm not used to the entranceway being in there, and when Pat Johnson tells you to come down to a cage, it's scary.
Yeah, I know.
Pat is a very scary individual. Robert Baccarino, fighting out of Noel Smith, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Teammate for the night of Brad the Machine Gun Mountain, who will be in the main event tonight.
Robert's coming off of a 2-fight losing streak. He needs to win here, get the said momentum back on his side. But he picked a tough one in Jacob to come out here and try to get his first win on, get his win streak rolling.
Well,
it's gonna be a tough fight.